Hey everyone, and welcome. We need to talk about a really weird, kind of urgent problem that's popping up thanks to AI. We all know AI can write code insanely fast, right? But what if I told you that incredible speed is actually becoming a huge liability? Let's get into it. I mean, just let this quote sink in for a second. Your AI assistant is 100 times faster than you are. That sounds like a dream come true, doesn't it? But as a lot of developers are finding out the hard way, this amazing new power has a really dangerous catch. And that brings us to what people are now calling the 100x problem. It's like we've opened the floodgates for all this AI-generated code, which is great. But we kind of forgot to ask one really important question. Who's going to check all of it? And that has created this massive new bottleneck, this totally unforeseen side effect of all this new productivity. Yeah, there's actually a name for it: code review fatigue. And it's exactly what it sounds like. Your job isn't just to write code. A huge part of it is reviewing it to make sure it's good, it's safe, and it actually works. But what happens when the amount of code you have to review every single day is just way more than any human brain can possibly handle? So just how bad has it gotten? Well, take a look at this number: 70%. That is a massive, massive figure. And it represents a fundamental change in what a developer actually does all day. That's right. For the average senior developer, more than 2/3 of their day is no longer about designing cool systems or mentoring junior devs or even solving tough problems. Nope. It's just reading. Reading an endless fire hose of code that was spit out by an AI. It's not sustainable. And look, this isn't just a matter of burnout or somebody having a bad day at work. This fatigue has real, tangible consequences. It's creating a huge business risk where one single tired coder can accidentally let something slip and bring the whole system crashing down. So you have to understand how this actually happens. It's a slow decline. On your first code review of the morning, you're fresh, you're sharp, you're digging into the deep logic, you're questioning the architecture. But by the 25th review, your brain is fried. You're just skimming, you're looking for obvious stuff, and by the 50th, forget it. You're literally just scanning for typos. All your critical thinking has just packed up and gone home. And this quote just nails it perfectly. This is the failure point. The really dangerous bugs, the subtle logic flaws that can cause a massive security breach or a huge outage, those are the things that slip by when a human reviewer is exhausted. That's how production breaks. It's not some big explosion, it's just a quiet little oversight from a completely worn-out mind. Okay, so that sounds pretty bad. But what if we could use AI to solve the problem that AI created? This is where a new idea is emerging: the concept of an AI supervisor. Basically, an AI whose entire job is to watch over the other AI. And when you put them side by side, the comparison is pretty stark, right? A human reviewer gets tired, we get slow, our attention to detail just plummets after a few hours. An AI reviewer, though, it is absolutely tireless, it's instantaneous, and it is a master at spotting those known patterns and subtle bugs that a human eye is almost guaranteed to miss after a long day. This is where tools like CodeRabbit are coming into play. The best way to think about it is like an AI shield. It's this automated layer that sits between the code writing AI and the human developer. Its only job is to be that perfect, vigilant reviewer that never gets tired, automatically scanning every single line and catching the critical stuff before it ever gets to an exhausted human. All right, so talking about it is one thing, but let's actually see it work. So imagine your AI coding buddy just generated this block of code. At a quick glance, it looks totally fine, right? But there is a really nasty bug hiding in there in plain sight. And boom, there it is. The AI reviewer instantly flags a potential memory leak on line 42. Now that is a subtle but incredibly serious bug. It's the kind of thing that could slow down and eventually crash a server. And it is absolutely something that a human on their 40th code review of the day would almost certainly miss. That is an amazing safety net to have. So what's the big lesson we can pull from all this? Well, it's that we probably need a completely new way of thinking about how we work with AI. It's not about having just one tool anymore. It's more like we're managing an entire workforce of different AI agents. So first up, you've got your junior agent. This is your typical AI coding assistant, like GitHub Copilot or something similar. It's super fast, it's really eager to help, and it churns out a ton of work. But it doesn't have the context or the wisdom of a seasoned developer. It's gonna make rookie mistakes. And to manage that junior agent, you absolutely need a senior agent. This is your AI supervisor, your automated code reviewer. Its whole job is to look over the shoulder of all those junior agents, acting as that quality control expert that, again, never, ever gets tired. Which brings us to this really powerful, kind of blunt new rule for the age of AI. I mean, think about it. You would never hire a whole team of junior developers and then just let them run wild with no supervision, right? Well, the exact same logic has to apply here. An unsupervised AI that's writing code is just, it's a ticking time bomb. So we'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. As you and your company start to rely more and more on AI to write code faster and faster, you have to stop and ask this really simple but really critical question. Who or what is watching your agents? Because the answer to that question could be the difference between success and a complete disaster. Thanks for tuning in.